Welcome to today's video, where we explore why political ideology should take a back seat to pragmatic action in high-stakes immigration cases. We will focus on scenarios where a U.S. citizen files an I-130 for a spouse who is simultaneously in removal proceedings. To begin, we will outline the urgency of these cases and set expectations about tools like congressional inquiries, mandamus lawsuits, and competent legal strategy. Then, we will connect these concepts to practical steps you can take right now. Here's our roadmap. First, we'll set the context. A U.S. citizen spouse files an I-130 while the beneficiary faces removal proceedings. Next, we'll explain what a congressional inquiry actually does. Then we'll explore why, in urgent cases, pragmatism can outweigh ideology. After that, we'll examine superior legal tools such as mandamus actions and strong case strategy. We will discuss the lawyer's role in synchronizing USCIS processes with immigration court. We'll finish with an actionable checklist, a couple of knowledge checks, and key takeaways. In this scenario, a U.S. citizen has filed an immediate relative petition, the I-130, while the spouse is in active removal proceedings. This combination creates extreme urgency because delays can directly affect the spouse's ability to remain in the United States. The family needs clarity on status, timing, and options. Therefore, speed, accuracy, and procedural coordination become critical. A congressional inquiry is an administrative tool. It is not a legal mechanism and cannot change statutes or force a specific outcome. A member of Congress's Constituent Services team contacts an agency like USCIS or ICE to request a status update or an explanation for delays. The value lies in drawing attention to a file that may be stuck. However, this is only a nudge. It should supplement, not replace, a robust legal strategy. It cannot fix legal defects, cure inadmissibility, or override statutory limits. This flowchart starts with an I-130 filing while removal proceedings are ongoing. From there, the case can branch in three directions. The first is a congressional inquiry, which may elicit a quicker status update but does not alter legal outcomes. The second is a strong legal strategy that emphasizes correct timing, appropriate waivers, and coordinated action with the immigration court. This route increases the likelihood of a favorable resolution on the merits. The third is a mandamus lawsuit, which becomes appropriate when there is an unreasonable agency delay. Mandamus compels a decision, but cannot dictate what that decision must be. The diagram also shows that a congressional inquiry can be layered alongside legal steps as a supplementary nudge rather than a replacement. In practice, constituent services staff are measured by responsiveness, not political persuasion. Requesting a congressional inquiry does not endorse any politician's platform. It is simply administrative triage. When time matters, passing up a no-cost procedural tool due to ideological objections may close off a potential advantage. The key is to keep perspective. Use the inquiry as an optional, practical lever while staying focused on the legal fundamentals that drive outcomes. On the left, a congressional inquiry is an administrative prompt. It is essentially a request for attention and can expedite updates but carries no legal force. It is low cost and can be helpful if the underlying record is strong. On the right, mandamus and comprehensive legal strategy represent the substantive tools. A mandamus suit asks a federal court to compel the agency to take action when delays are unreasonable, though it cannot force a particular outcome. Effective strategy integrates proper waiver practice, precise timing, and coordination with the immigration court. These legal measures are the true engines of progress. If an attorney emphasizes a congressional inquiry as the central solution, consider that a warning sign. Competent counsel must master both family-based immigration and removal defense, particularly how they interact. This includes getting the timing right between USCIS processes and the immigration court calendar, and ensuring that all necessary waivers and evidentiary materials are properly prepared. Use congressional inquiries as an occasional supplement for status clarity, and be prepared to pursue a mandamus action when agency delay becomes unreasonable. This sequence diagram maps the interactions among the couple, the attorney, USCIS, ICE, the immigration court, and federal court. Initially, the couple engages counsel and supplies records. The attorney files the I-130 with complete evidence and coordinates with the immigration court on case posture. While the I-130 is pending, delays may occur. The attorney submits status requests and can add a congressional inquiry to seek clarity if delays become unreasonable. The attorney files a mandamus action in federal court to compel USCIS to issue a decision. Once a decision is issued, the attorney uses that outcome strategically before the immigration court to align the case with the broader relief plan. Here is a practical plan. First, assemble all documents including I-130 receipts, notices to appear, court notices, prior applications, and consider FOIA requests if records are missing. Next, retain counsel experienced in both family-based immigration and removal defense. Build a complete evidentiary record for the I-130 and anticipate any necessary waivers. Track case timelines carefully, document agency delays, and submit service requests. If this be carry. Consider a congressional inquiry to obtain status clarity. If delays become unreasonable, discuss a mandamus action with your attorney, coordinate strategy with the immigration court's schedule, and maintain detailed logs of communications and copies of all filings. Quiz time. Which statement best describes a congressional inquiry in an immigration case? Option A. It can legally overturn an agency's decision. Option B. It is an administrative request for updates or clarity, not a legal remedy. Option C. It guarantees approval if a senator sponsors it. Option D. It replaces the need for a mandamus lawsuit. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is that a congressional inquiry is an administrative request for updates or clarity, not a legal remedy. It can draw attention to a case but cannot change the law, overturn decisions, or guarantee outcomes. Next question. When is a writ of mandamus typically appropriate? Option A. When you want a specific outcome guaranteed. Option B. Whenever an I-130 is filed. Option C. When an agency delay is unreasonable and you seek a court order to compel a decision. Option D. Only after a congressman denies your inquiry. You may pause the video now to consider the answer. We will discuss it in the next section. The correct answer is that a writ of mandamus is appropriate when an agency delay is unreasonable and you seek a court order to compel the agency to make a decision. Mandamus cannot force approval. It compels action. Here is a Markdown-style checklist you can print or copy. Confirm your I-130 receipt information and key deadlines. Gather all removal-related documents, such as the notice to appear and hearing notices. Identify any required waivers and the evidentiary support they need. Maintain a timeline log of every contact with USCIS or ICE. Submit service requests and consider a congressional inquiry for status updates. Evaluate a mandamus action if the delay becomes unreasonable. Align your strategy in immigration court with developments at USCIS. Finally, keep organized copies in a binder or cloud folder. This table compares key tools. A congressional inquiry requests status or clarity and is administrative in nature, with little to no cost, best used as a supplement. A service request similarly prompts the agency to check a case and is often used early and periodically. A mandamus lawsuit is a federal court action to compel the agency to decide when delays become unreasonable. It involves legal costs. Finally, a robust legal strategy addresses the merits, waivers, and timing, and should always be central to the plan. Remember these key points. A congressional inquiry is only an administrative nudge, not a legal solution. In urgent family cases, pragmatic choices can save time and reduce risk. When delays are unreasonable, mandamus can compel agency action. Competent counsel synchronizes USCIS processing with the immigration court calendar and manages waivers and evidence. Finally, do not allow political ideology to prevent you from using a practical procedural tool. Please note that this content is for educational purposes only and does not constitute legal advice. Immigration cases are highly fact-specific, and you should consult a qualified attorney about your particular situation. Viewing this video does not create an attorney-client relationship. To wrap up, use congressional inquiries as a supplemental tool to obtain status clarity. Anchor your case in robust legal strategy, including the correct waivers and a complete evidentiary record. Document timelines, and, when delays are unreasonable, consider a mandamus action. Always coordinate USCIS progress with the posture of your immigration court case. Above all, choose pragmatic steps that protect your family's future over ideological preferences. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, Please like, share, and subscribe for more practical immigration strategy content. Share your questions and experiences in the comments so we can cover them in future videos.